Hi, my name is Peter Ko. I'm Chinese, and I am a musician. I'm an only child. My mom is from Guangzhou and my dad is from Hong Kong. Both of them moved to Canada in their 20s and 30s, and both of them were raised in families that found joy in music, so it's really not surprising that I would as well. I've discovered that a lot of our parents' generations have encouraged and forced us to think about music as a hobby or a profession that's left to the masters, and often have trouble accepting that being an artist could be a job. And honestly, I don't blame them. It's an insecure and unpredictable source of income. And it's here at this mindset that my story as an Asian artist begins. I was brought up being encouraged to find work that I enjoyed. If that meant that I didn't go the usual Asian route of going to university, majoring, graduating, and then finding work, that was okay. The most important thing to my parents was that I kept God the first in my life. I played piano for over 10 years, having only completed my ARCT diploma in piano performance in the summer of 2014. And I think I speak for many people when I say that I hated it, but I'm glad that I went through it, because it was in the later years that I learned to fall in love with music. I went to college for audio engineering, where I learned the ins and outs of the recording industry. And it's there that I met a community that thought and felt much like myself. And all, if not most of their parents were totally cool with their career choice. There were exceptions, but for the most part, their parents were totally fine. I've experienced both acceptance and rejection from aunties and uncles for my career choice, and I'll be the first to say it. I prefer the former. To have something that I'm passionate about shot down in the name of we love you, we care for you, and we want you to have a good future, it really sucks. Because as far as I know, it actually means we don't know what you study, and we fear it because it's unknown to us, therefore it's bad for you, so come back to studying a real subject. And even some of my friends would comment on my not studying a real subject. And while it's all fun and games with my friends, it doesn't change the fact that a university degree holds a lot of power in Asian circles, among others. So that's when I thought, maybe if I get rich, I'd earn their respect and then I would shut their closed-minded mouths. And the funny part is, I'd be right. I would shut their mouths, but I would also be selling out to a crowd in probably the worst way possible. In doing that, I would cease to be the artist I so desired to be. And that's the first side of this paradox that I live. Music is about the art. It's not about the people or the achievements. It doesn't matter that I'm not making a stable income. If I'm doing it for the sole purpose of making money, I insult my own definition of an artist. As an artist, simply enjoying the process and product of my labor should be and is enough for me. And it's this aspect of art that many people of numerous cultures, not just the Asian culture, still don't understand. Their idea of success is one rooted in the economy and recognition rather than in personal fulfillment. And if I let that thought weigh me down, I'd be letting people get in the way of what I wanted out of myself. And yet, if I simply isolated myself from the masses, I would be doing it wrong as well. Here we find the other side of this paradox. As artists, I believe some of the greatest gifts that we can receive is praise, constructive criticism, and affirmation for our work. We all crave it in some degree because it's an affirmation that the product of our labor is worth it, worthy of cross-examination, and above all, is a beautiful thing. I struggle with self-worth, and so when I receive that pat on the back or that little nudge of criticism, it says to me that somebody took the time to analyze, to enjoy, and that somebody cared. So if I isolated myself, I'd be missing out on the affirmation that the community around me offers. Music is about the people. It's not about the art itself. If I ignore the people around me and blindly write music for myself and only for myself, I miss what it means to be an artist. From the beginning of time, music was meant to be performed or released to the public. From Gregorian chant to modern electronic jazz fusion, whether for religious purposes or not, all music was written for others to listen to and possibly to sing along to. And it's here in the middle of these two sides that I'm trying to live. On one hand, music and art is selfish. It is for my own joy and only my joy that I create. I can't let a community of aunties and uncles who can't see the beauty extinguish that flame. And yet on the other hand, it cannot be selfish. It is for others, including my aunties and my uncles, to enjoy, critique, affirm, and uplift.